45 psychological traits of an unappreciated woman. She feels unseen, like she's present in everyone's life but invisible in her own story. She suppresses her pain. She's learned that showing emotion pushes people away. She overgives to feel needed. Giving is how she buys love in a world that forgets her. She internalizes rejection. Every ignored message feels like proof she's not enough. She's addicted to being useful, because usefulness feels safer than vulnerability. She finds comfort in chaos. Love that hurts feels familiar. Peace feels foreign. She stays quiet to avoid conflict. Silence has become her defense mechanism. She confuses love with obligation. She mistakes effort for affection. She apologizes even when she's the one hurting, because harmony matters more than fairness. She keeps her breakdowns private. The world sees strength. Her pillow knows weakness. She forgives quickly, not because she's naive, but because she fears losing people. She downplays her achievements, afraid that shining too bright will make others uncomfortable. She loves from a wounded place, trying to heal others the way she wishes someone healed her. She rationalizes red flags, telling herself, maybe they didn't mean it like that. She carries emotional weight for others, becoming the therapist in every relationship. She hates being a burden. Even when she's breaking inside, she'll say, I'm fine. She hides her loneliness, smiling through emotional isolation. She overthinks kindness. When someone treats her well, she wonders what they want. She normalizes disappointment, so she won't be shocked when it comes. She measures her worth through others' happiness. If everyone's okay, she's okay. She mistakes tolerance for love, believing that enduring pain equals loyalty. She fears abandonment. Every goodbye feels permanent. She attracts emotionally unavailable people, mirroring her own neglected parts. She feels undeserving of care. Love makes her anxious because she's not used to it. She's emotionally intelligent but rarely protected. She understands everyone but no one understands her. She carries guilt for needing help. Her independence became her survival tactic. She gives silent treatment to herself, ignoring her own needs until they scream. She replays conversations in her head, analyzing every word she said, wondering if she pushed someone away. She feels emotionally drained but keeps showing up. Consistency has become her form of love. She's drawn to broken people because fixing them makes her feel whole. She romanticizes potential, falling for what someone could be, not what they are. She has trust issues, but hides them under a forgiving smile. She's overly empathetic. She absorbs other people's pain like it's her duty. She struggles to receive love. Compliments make her uncomfortable because she doubts their sincerity. She hides behind strength. Being strong is easier than admitting she's tired. She minimizes her pain, saying it's not that bad even when it is. She's nostalgic for moments where she felt seen, replaying old memories to remind herself she mattered once. She questions her self-worth, wondering if she's the reason people stop caring. She fears being too much, so she becomes less of herself to stay loved. She avoids asking for attention. She wants to be chosen without having to beg for it. She suppresses anger because she associates anger with rejection. She becomes emotionally numb, protecting herself from disappointment by feeling less. She carries unspoken resentment towards those who only notice her when they need her. She's loyal to pain because pain is predictable. She dreams of peace more than passion because all she's ever known is emotional exhaustion. She stops expressing her needs because every time she did, it turned into an argument. She feels emotionally disconnected, present in the relationship, but unseen in spirit. She gives more than she receives, carrying the emotional weight both should share. She feels alone even beside him. The silence between them feels louder than words. She walks on eggshells, afraid her emotions will ruin the mood. She apologizes for existing, constantly saying sorry just to keep the peace. She lowers her expectations, not because she wants less, but because asking for more leads nowhere. She stays loyal out of love, not happiness. She hides her sadness behind smiles, pretending everything's fine to avoid another cold response. She stops dressing up, not because she doesn't care, but because she feels invisible to him. She loses her voice. Her opinions no longer feel valid or respected. She starts overthinking everything. Every tone, text, and look feels like a message. She seeks validation through service, cooking, cleaning, giving, hoping it'll make her feel valued. She feels emotionally starved, craving affection but too proud to beg for it. She avoids intimacy because touch without emotional connection feels hollow. She becomes emotionally numb, not out of coldness but from constant. She doubts her worth, wondering what's wrong with her for not being enough. She keeps quiet during arguments. Silence has become her safest weapon. She overfunctions, doing everything to keep the relationship alive while he relaxes in comfort. She fears being replaced. Every distance feels like the beginning of goodbye. She convinces herself this is normal. Denial becomes her coping mechanism. She becomes overly patient, waiting for him to change, even when he shows no effort. She carries unspoken resentment, smiling through pain, but her heart keeps score. She no longer feels desirable. His lack of attention eats away at her femininity. She stops dreaming. Her world shrinks around his moods and behaviors. She becomes emotionally self-sufficient because relying on him feels pointless. She suppresses her anger, afraid it'll be used against her later. She idealizes the early days, replaying the moments when he actually saw her. She struggles to communicate because what's the point if he's not listening? She starts losing respect for herself, mistaking endurance for loyalty. She feels responsible for his moods, blaming herself for his bad days. She avoids asking questions. She'd rather not know the truth if it might hurt. She keeps hoping for small gestures, a text, a touch, a thank you that rarely comes. She gives love even when she's empty, because that's the only language she knows. She doubts love itself, wondering if it's supposed to feel this lonely. She envies couples who still laugh together, realizing how long it's been since she did. She finds herself walking away emotionally before she leaves physically, detaching piece by piece. She feels guilty for wanting peace, as if self-preservation were betrayal. She prays he'll notice her pain, but deep down, she knows he won't. She hides her phone tears, crying quietly so he won't see her weakness. She starts fantasizing about freedom, not because she doesn't love him, but because she misses herself. She settles for routine love, passion replaced by habit. She carries emotional loneliness like armor, strong but scarred. She stops believing in forever. Reality has replaced her romantic illusions. She becomes a shadow of her former self, still loving, still loyal, but slowly disappearing inside her own heart. 45 facts. When an unappreciated relationship enters familyhood, emotional distance becomes the new normal. You coexist, not connect.